Hi everyone, good afternoon, selamat siang semuanya. Selamat berjumpa lagi dengan saya, Melina Putri Wismurti, Festival Co-Director dari Europe on Screen. Today we will have a film talk session with the director of You Only Live Once, Die Toten Hosen, Cordula Kablitz-Post. You can hear the bakpao vendor coming from the place. Okay, so yes, the session will be held in English. Though. Hi, Cordula.
Hello, hi.
Hello, guten Tag.
Guten Tag. Thank you for the invitation. Great.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for participating. But before we start, I would just like to kindly remind everyone the rule of the webinar session today. We will have the webinar, the Film Talk webinar will be broadcast live on YouTube. Please kindly notify about that. And also the session will be all held in English. But if you guys want to ask also in Germany and practice your German, will be okay as well. But also, if you want to ask questions, there's actually a small button below. There is a Q&A button. You can actually put your question there. So yes, I think we have already a lot of people joining in. We just screened your film 2 hours ago in the festival. Maybe you can share the process. I mean, like when we saw the film, we immediately wanted to screen it here because we felt how warm the film is, how close you were with uh, all the people that involved in the not only Campino and the band itself, but also the crews, the roadies, and everyone involved. You were so and they let you get this backstage all access area. That's even into their life. That's quite amazing. I was just like wondering how long does it take for you to film this and what makes you decide to do this, because I understand that you also have a short video about them previously before you decided to make the long
Yeah,
one.
that's true. So I think when you're from Germany, you grow. So I grew up with the Toten Hosen. They are the most famous and most successful band in Germany, and
Mm-hmm.
I started to follow them from the beginning because I liked the music very much always. It's kind of the soundtrack of my youth, and they had a lot of great music in these 37 years of band history. So when I started to work the first time with them, that was already 2006. I did something for German French TV Arte, and so it followed two other films, short, I think 45 minutes about, for German TV. And that was also very interesting and nice. And so we got to know each other and build up a little bit of a trust situation, I think, because they knew that my films, they liked them somehow. I don't know why exactly, but I think I always try to be serious about the people. I don't want to be, how can I say? I don't want to be somebody who's like a typical journalist to get the negative questions and to get them really on a, there are always like critique and so on. But I think if you're a I see myself more as a filmmaker. I try to get into the cosmos of the people and to understand what drives them and what their what they really want and why they do what they do and why they are so successful like they are. And that's how I started. And I think this film was special because it's not a normal portrait, because it's not the history of the band, it's just the moment, the situation of the tour. And when I asked them 2017 if we can maybe do a film about this, was my inspiration was the mixture of the Metallica film Some Kind of Monster, that you might have seen the documentary, which is really wonderful
Yes.
and great, and had very many insights in the band history or in the band psychology, which I said this is the masterpiece of documentaries about bands. And I said I should try maybe to get a mixture of this and the Rammstein film Paris, which was made by Akazan. And I thought this is a great mixture because you have once the festival or the tour live, but on the other hand you also have a psychological insight of the band and how the band works inside and how the personalities differ from each other and who has which task in the band, which is the reason why it works so well for so many years. They have like a very great system how the band works. And that was interesting for me. I wanted to find it out because before I had focused more on the singer, on Campino, but this time I wanted to understand the whole band system. And so I asked them, and first 2017, they said they don't want to do it because they said, oh, so many cameras and we're on tour, it's so much stress, and no, maybe in 2 years. And then half a year later, the manager called me and told me, yeah, we thought about it because it's such a successful tour. We might do it now because you never know if it will be that big again and so on. And how right he was. I mean, it was the last big tour they did. And it's such a gift and blessing that we could join him because you don't know when it will be possible again now to
Yeah.
do concerts like these, because as you can see in the film, the concerts of the Toten Hosen are very physical. The people, they make
Yes.
such a party, you know, they go in this mass, they really climb over people, and it's a physical experience, and everybody makes a big party. But and Campino, this year I talked to him about, because he was writing a book, and he told me that he doesn't want to make concerts in another way, just in this way, because he said it's a problem if you make it restricted, if you make the people in a plastic shield around them maybe, or with a distance of 2 meters, you cannot really do the concerts like he wants to do it, or the band wants to do it.
Yeah.
And that's so it's such a special film for me too, to see it again. And I get also a little bit sad when I see it, that it's not possible right now, and hopefully it will be possible again next year, or but you don't know right now
Yeah,
how
that's
fast.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I also noticed that you have been working with Campino quite sometimes before when you did the compilation, like Into the Night
Yeah, right. That was the Into the Night I told you was
yes.
2006. That was the first
Yeah.
time I worked with him, and then
Ah,
he was meeting another artist, which is also the principle of this show is
yeah,
always that two artists meet each other for one evening,
yeah,
and get to know each other better and go through in the night. And
yeah.
that was with a famous theater director, Klaus Maria Brandauer. Yeah.
Ah, okay. And
So
we were talking before that you really love punk music. That's why you also make previously like the godmother of punk.
yes,
Uh,
Nina Hagen was also
yeah,
one of
Nina
my
Hagen. Yeah.
childhood idols. I really admired her. She inspired me also. And Sex Pistols, I was 13 years old. I was absolutely fan of them and had a record, the first record, and played it everywhere. And so yeah, so this how all this empathy for punk music started. And I really liked the energy of punk. You know, this is something which is so different because
Yes.
it was rough, it was new, it was fresh, and it was really like a music revolution when it started. Yeah.
Yes, and it's also expression of the social reformation to what
Yeah.
happened around us. Yeah.
Of course, it had its origin in England, where there were like really problems in society, but it also we could also understand the same somehow on another level. But I could identify very much with the music and the text.
Yes, I can understand that too. And also, there was also special scenes in the movie in the Die Toten Hosen where they did all this ritual. I understand that most bands will do this ritual before they go on stage, and then they will this ritual, the one where they circle each other's and then
Mhm.
pat someone in the back. That's really cute, actually. How did you get to go into that part of like specific details, and they let you go into to capture all those
Well, we talked about this before.
yeah,
We said
yes,
because when we want to do something good, it must be we have to be everywhere backstage. If it's not
mm,
possible, it's not a good film. So they trusted me because we knew each other before, and we could go really with my fantastic camera DOP, Christopher Rowe. He was there everywhere. You know, he was like
Following.
he tried to follow them all the time. So that was already getting them on their nerves very
Ah,
much because we filmed over 200 hours of material.
oh wow.
But I have also to mention my wonderful co-director for the concerts. He was Paul Duckdale. He had worked with the Toten Hosen before for a lot of DVD productions and also
Ah,
concert productions. And so he was also very much experienced in how to film the band. So this, you know, I think was a very good mixture of our both experiences. He was the one for the concerts, and I was the one for content and for the whole storytelling process. And because I knew very much about the band, and so I think that was a really good match that we could
okay.
work together. Yeah.
And so far, while filming, is there any biggest challenge that you faced during that time?
Yeah, the biggest challenge, of course, as you see in the film, was when Campino had his hearing loss. Because
Yes.
this moment, nobody knew if we could finish the film or if he could ever be on a stage again, because that was really a
Mm,
dramatic moment. And it was such a also blessing that we were there at the right time with two cameras in this moment
mm,
when they canceled the concert, because it was
yeah.
not, we were not on every concert. So there was just by chance that we
And by
filmed.
lucky.
Yeah, yeah. And but if you miss such a situation in a movie, this is not good, because then later you cannot tell really the moment. You can just
Mm,
talk about it how it was, but it's not the same like when you're there in the middle of it. And first of all, when I got this phone call in the morning from Andy
uh,
from the band, I thought he's making a bad joke, because he said, "We have to cancel the concert today in Berlin. Campino is sick, he cannot play." And I said, "Come on, it's not true." Because I saw that the night before they were still there on there was another concert, they played it, and they played it very good and everything was great. But in the next morning he had this problem with his ear. And then
yeah.
it took 7 weeks or 8 weeks till he recovered and could slowly try again to get back to normal. And the first concert you see in the film after the hearing loss was very emotional. Like Stuttgart was also the biggest concert on the tour, was like with 70,000 people there. It was huge, and everybody didn't know if his ear might cope with it or not.
Ah,
And it's not easy, but he's always going for it. He's not. I think he's not so afraid of his body or his. He says always he would rather go deaf than not play concerts anymore. So that's what that was his so much his passion that he wanted to try it.
yeah, he would push to the limits.
Right, that's true. Absolutely.
Yeah. And yeah, and I was so impressed by their diehard fans who can really take the news. They were like, "Oh, sorry about the cancel loss." That was a very good
Yeah, they
shout out.
were so disappointed, but also they were so nice. You know, nobody was
Yeah,
angry. Of course, they were all in sorrow and wished him all best for his health. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. All right, so we have already some questions from the people who
Okay.
already watched.
Mhm.
Uh, okay, from Buela Charlita. Hello, Cordula, your dog is awesome. Congratulations. It reminds me with a documentary about the Rolling Stones, Shine a Light. Are you also a big fan of the band and other heavy metal as well, since you mentioned about Metallica and the Rammstein?
Yes, thank you very much for the nice comment. Yes, I'm happy that you like the film, and of course, I'm also a big fan of Rammstein and also of Metallica and a lot of other great bands, but also David Bowie and a lot of the glam rock bands. I like very. I think it's so many different bands I like, but punk is also my special. Yeah, I would say that's how I started it, everything when I started to be interested in music. But Rammstein, I just did something because you mentioned the series before, Into the Night with. I did one with Flake from Rammstein and
Oh, wow.
with Joey Kelly from the German band, the Kelly Family. It was also very, very entertaining and nice. If you have, I don't know if you have a chance to see it in, I'm not sure. For Arte. Arte is not screened in Indonesia, right?
No, no, not really.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, thank you. And then also there is actually a question from our YouTube audience. Cordula, congratulations. It's an awesome film. We love the energy of the film. It's so infectious. Yeah, that's so true. I feel so spirited as well after watching it. How are the Toten Hosen members doing right now? Do you still get in touch with them these days?
Mhm. Thank you again for the great comment. I had only been in contact with Campino because he just wrote his first book about Liverpool and football and his family in England. And I was filming a little bit of as a, like a promotion video for this book. So I could talk to him about the whole situation, and he was really not happy about what's happening right now. Of course,
Yeah.
nobody is. It's sad to see that everything is locked down and the whole world
Yes.
is in a standby modus, and you can only hope that this will change very soon. But I don't have contact to the other band members, so I cannot really tell you how they are. But they just released a new album. That's what I know. And
Yeah.
if you're interested in the band, they have a great album out now. It's also based on their influences on Liverpool music, the Beatles, and but also a lot of other bands which were around in Liverpool for so many years.
Yes.
Yeah,
Do they always play the You'll Never Walk Alone in
yeah,
every
that's their absolute
concert?
standard. Yes, it's like a routine for every concert. They play it always as the last song. Yeah,
Ah,
so
okay.
everybody
No, because
knows when the concert is only over when they play this song.
so that's a cue.
Yeah,
No more
and
song
people,
after that.
then people go home after that.
Okay, well that's good. I love Liverpool too. So
Yeah, because Campino is really a huge Liverpool fan since his youth, and because his
ah,
mother is from England, and he's
oh,
half
okay.
English. Yeah, yeah. That's also his book about it. He just published the book. It's called
Yeah.
Hope Street, and Hope Street is also the very important street in Liverpool where it's close to the stadium. I've never been there, but he just told me that, so that's the reason why I know.
Ah, oh,
It's a
and
good
that's the
book.
reason why he loves Liverpool.
Yeah, maybe the book will also be published in Indonesia, so you might have a chance to read it. I don't know.
Okay, we're crossing fingers for that. Okay, and then there's a next question from Marlene Trisna. Hello, Cordula. How do you decide which footage will be used in the movie? And if there's a particular moment with the Toten Hosen that you like, but didn't end up in the final cut? Thank you.
Oh, that's a hard question because the editing process is now 1.5 years ago. And so I just know that we worked very quickly because we started filming in May 2019. Nee, wait a minute, 2018. I got mixed up. We started the tour filming in May 2018 and finished in Argentina in November 2018. And after that came the editing process. And we also in between we also started editing because it was so much material, and we knew we have to follow the tour, so we always condensed it to the, for I would say, most emotional scenes and the most funny scenes we found, and also to give every band member his special appearance to understand how the band works with
Mm,
from the chemistry of the band. And
mm,
and if we had like surprising moments, we used them, but also emotional. But I'm not sure. I think, well, maybe I forgot it, but I think we have the best moments of what we shot in the film. There are some things we had also on DVD, which were also very favorite ones of us, but we couldn't put it in because we had really many, many, many hours of great material. But I don't know if the DVD is available in somewhere in the world, only in maybe in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. But also, I think you can order it maybe from the Toten Hosen directly, and they have also with English subtitles. And so this bonus material is also on the DVD, which we could not use, but were in the film. Would we like to have in the film? But I always said I don't want to be so long. It's like 107 minutes. It's also a long time. Um, First of all, I planned 90 minutes, but it was not possible. We had too many great things and wanted to show so much as we can, but yeah, it's already long, I think, 107. I don't know. And Argentina was also wonderful. There were so many great moments there. Mm, yeah, I mean, the concert were also wonderful. I could have done like 5 hours more just of the concert material. That is something what is really hard to say, but we tried to build a flow which takes you from one to the other. And I had a wonderful editor, Mechtel Barth. She's so great. And we played like ping pong with the materials. She tried something and then I watched fresh. And then I said, and we watched together and said, yeah, maybe this, not, but that. And so you build it up. It's a long process. You start maybe with a 4 hour version and you cut down every month you work on it more. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like from your 2 hours footage that you mentioned previously, that was just like so
Yeah.
many good things. I can only imagine this
Yeah.
to extract the juice of the footages.
Right. You have to
Yeah.
really to make choices and what is the most what tells you most about the psychological or the chemistry of the band, yeah, or the characters of the band.
Yeah. But then to watch this movie now, I think it is a good remedy because we're all missing this kind of live concert where everybody can be together in one place and
Mm.
yes, feeling all this spirit and giddiness to be all together with all the punk music and rock music.
Yeah, absolutely true. This is for me also as I saw the trailer now, I said, oh, it was so great. Especially what I like most is
Yeah.
the small events from in Berlin, for example. There's a very, very small location we filmed. And also the SO36, this is one of the
Yeah.
most legendary clubs we have in Berlin
Yes.
where bands can, venues, no? Very
Yeah.
small one, very sweaty. It's like a super spreader event right now. You cannot,
Yes.
this is
Like
something which you cannot imagine anymore. It's like so sweaty and so crowded and yeah, but it was great.
yeah. I also like the where you go to all these specific places in Berlin. It's really like you have it's like a kind of your love letter to Berlin itself. And
Yeah,
yeah.
true. Yeah, absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
really, really nice.
Thank you. Great that you
Yes.
see it like this. Yeah.
Oh, do we have also other question from Maharani? Guten Tag, Cordula. My name is Rani. Your movie is amazing. I would like to ask you, how do you manage to find the perfect balance in making a film, both entertaining and profound at the same time? And then
Oh, so
that's
nice.
maybe you because she has two questions. I think you should
Okay.
answer the first one first. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that is a very big compliment. Thank you. This is always what I want, actually, entertaining and profound. But it's great that it's seems to work out for you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it is just a question of knowing the characters, getting to know them, and have we had so many interviews and so many background information. So you always have to get a little bit of a distance. You start working on it, and then you always it's always good to have a second person working on it. And it's like I mentioned, my editor Mechthild,
Yeah.
she's so great because she has a fresh view. When I was coming from the filming, I had an impression of the film material, but then she looked fresh on it, and then she saw different things sometimes than me, and we always try to get the best out of it. I think we had a very good teamwork, and it's very helpful for a documentary to have a great editor because he does a lot of work. It's like also viewing everything and then deciding what is most entertaining. Also, it's always because it's a long way, you know, you follow a
Yeah.
band. And sometimes it could be boring if it's just like, oh, then it's that and then it's that. So it must be always a fresh angle or a new aspect. And we try to get that. Yeah.
So it's like having another eye.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
good.
Yes. And then her second question is actually, how involved are you in the pre-production and the post-production of the process of the Die Toten Hosen?
Everything we did from the beginning till the end. So I did that from planning. I mean, I'm also the producer of this, so I have to do everything. Yeah, like getting the money, getting fundings in the project. Then you write a lot. Also, it's like also author's work because you have to plan and to condense your thoughts into one page or 16 pages, and to get, you know, because you have to present the project to get people involved, TV stations or investors or funding people. And that is in the beginning the most work. And also, of course, I mean, the best was that I had a relationship to the band before, and to
Mm.
that they knew me, so that there was not so much work to talk with them about how they work. I had an idea already,
Mm.
so that it was very quickly from the first idea how to if we can do the film. They said yes, and then 6 weeks later, it was really unbelievable quick. We started shooting. Normally you have a half a year of preparation time, but this was
Ah,
really quickly because they were in the middle of the tour, and everybody knew if they don't decide very quick, it's not going to be made. And
yeah.
that was that. So I was lucky that that happened very quickly. And
Yeah, that you
then,
don't
yeah,
miss the moment.
right. And then because, but we missed a little bit of the beginning. They were in
Ah,
China. They started in
oh
China.
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was really too quick for us. We couldn't get the money in 1 week. So we applied for the funding, but we still had to wait. And was like after 6 weeks, we were financed. So we could
Okay.
start. Yeah.
Yes. But you said that you did everything mostly by yourself. How is it actually with the documentary production
Oh,
in
I have
Germany?
a very great team also. I
Ah,
work with my yeah, how do you say, Herstellungsleitung? Oh God, production manager. Yeah,
mhm.
she's a great, wonderful woman also on my side. I do a lot of the financing stuff and calculation budgets, and she does everything what that belongs to, because I'm not so. It's not my favorite work to write budgets, but it is also necessary. So somebody good to have somebody on your side again and to trust. And then there are also other people in the office who help in every way. But it's always like I have a team, but I try to always get the same team together, because for the DOP, for example, Chris, I
Hmm.
know for 25 years already. I worked with him
Wow.
so many times, yeah, and did all the different things I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did it go with the film when it's being released in Germany?
It went great. It went so wonderful. It was the most successful documentary in this year. Yeah, we had like 120,000
Congratulations.
people, which is in the cinema. It's huge. Yeah, and we had a great distribution company who also had the Rammstein film before
Oh,
in cinema, Rammstein Paris, and
yes.
they were also very successful. And I had the same distribution company, and so it was a very good working together with the band, and they had so much experience with online marketing, and there was like
Ah,
we did this as like an event movie in cinema, and it went really well. It went so good, and yeah, I was
but
absolutely happy. We also had a start in Austria and Switzerland, and we traveled also to Zurich and to Vienna, and yeah, so different cities in Germany.
I
Yeah.
hope I bet all the fans are very happy with that film.
I hope so. Yeah. It was really
Yes.
a success. I wouldn't have not expected that. That it's, but of course, I mean, the Toten Hosen are the most popular band in
Yeah.
Germany, and the great thing was that they really liked the film, so they were very important for the promotion work and
Mm,
for the post production process, giving the fans the yeah to say, hey, there will be a movie coming out, and there's a trailer, and
mm,
yeah, so they helped. They were so important for that. Yeah.
yes. Okay, we have also other questions from the audience from Babai. According to the director, which film Cordula Kablitz-Post in the making process is the most difficult to find inspiration among other films? So, I mean, he was asking actually about which film that, from all of your film, which one that is most difficult to find inspirations?
Inspiration or money?
I would say money. Funding is the most hardest thing to find.
Inspiration I have 10 times a day, but money is the most difficult to get.
True. Genau.
Yeah, but because inspiration is not really the problem. I think it's more the hard work on it. If you have a good idea, that's not all. You have to start from there, but then it's a lot of going into deeper or research
Yes.
or just building up a story and making a good concept out of it. And yeah, to follow this thought, and just one thought is not enough, but then it's like a work of months, sometimes years, if you have problems to get money, because always it's this combined process of finding the money to do it, and on
Yes.
the other hand trying to get your script better and better. But this time it was in a documentary filmmaking is easier. You don't have so much work with the script, I think, because a lot is just done by the protagonists, and you just set the frame for it, and you give them the freedom to do what they want. And but of course you have to have an idea what you want to
Mm,
see, but it's not so much work on the script, of course. But I do also feature films, and my feature film Lou Andreas Salome, about one of the most important intellectual of the 19th century.
is that
There were,
with the Rilke one and the
yes, with
Nietzsche?
Rilke and
Yeah.
Freud. You know, did you know it about you, or just by
I know,
chance?
I saw it actually, but that was like a long time
Really?
ago.
Oh, you saw it? Oh, how great! Oh my God, I'm so happy.
Because no, because I read their work, Nietzsche and Rilke,
Ah,
and I was like,
wonderful.
oh, what? There is this movie about these
Yes.
great people. So I was like, okay, then I watch it,
Oh
but that was
yeah.
like a long time ago.
Yeah, it started in 2016 in Germany.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, great. Yeah, but that was the hardest work I did for everything in every way, because it's so much more complicated to do a feature film and also a period movie.
Yes.
It's yeah, it's
Uh,
totally
so,
different.
but since you're mentioning about that, that actually the funding is basically also the
Yeah.
hardest, the most difficult part. How is it for this Die Toten Hosen for the funding?
Hmm. That was easy compared to other
Ah,
projects. It was quite easy because everybody
okay.
knows the Toten Hosen, and they
Ah,
have, like, you always in Germany you have a regional funding system. There is one major for the whole country. It's FFR, but you have also the regional funds, and
mhm,
you mostly, when you have a topic and it's located in a certain region of the country, you go to the
mhm,
regional funding. And in this way was Nordrhein-Westfalen, which is around Cologne and Düsseldorf, this area. And they have a great funding. And they it was like you just one phone call that they were like, oh, it sounds great. It sounds interesting. So then of course, you have all the paperwork, and it takes you again 6 or 7 weeks. But they were like immediately happy about the idea to do because the Toten Hosen are their local heroes, absolutely. So there's no bigger band for them because they're from the hometown of the funding, Düsseldorf. But they're what I told you before. The Toten Hosen are also the most important band in Germany. They're also I think, even more popular than Rammstein, which is sometimes for people from abroad hard to believe because Rammstein is so big abroad.
Yeah.
But in Germany, Toten Hosen are more, I would say, more
Ah,
popular because it's
ah,
there's nearly 3 generations listening to their music already. Yeah,
yes. I
yeah,
mean, if they've been around for like more than 30 years, that is like,
yeah.
and
So
still
that,
producing new album until today. Wow.
yeah, they're very, very busy always and do new things. Yeah.
Right. And
But I
what is
don't,
in the,
yeah.
sorry?
Sorry, I don't know if I answered the question before. Is that,
I think
yeah?
so, yeah. And because he was also questioning Ada, what is the solution to produce such interesting work? I think you have already answered the most difficult part in you were mentioning about the funding, and you already said about the funding is quite easy for the Die Toten Hosen since the region where they originally came from supported the idea of
Yeah.
producing this film. But probably like maybe you face other with your other films. You mentioned before also with the feature one, that's quite
Mm.
hard
Yeah,
with
because the budgets are higher. It's always a problem. When you have higher
ah
budgets, then it gets more tricky because it takes more time and
right.
you have just a limited budget mostly for the films, which is, it depends on what you want to do. And I'm always a producer and director. And this is also not easy because you always have to explain, yeah,
Yeah,
but
true.
I can do both because I'm used to it. I do it so many years already. And sometimes it's not easy to understand if somebody else is just doing producing or directing. And then, but there are some producer
Yeah.
directors around, but it's not so usual. Because it's in documentary filmmaking, it's more usual, but in the feature film, is not so many. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Usually. And what is and before we close the session today, what is actually your next project? Maybe you can share it
Yeah,
with us.
I have 2 different projects, very, very different ones. Yeah,
Yay!
I can tell you. Right now, I'm in the process of financing the wonderful, great Peaches. You know the singer Peaches from Canada?
Yes.
She's a
Oh, okay.
musician. Yeah, she's wonderful. She lives in
Oh
Berlin.
wow. Yes, because
Yeah,
I saw her performance actually last February before the in
yeah,
Berlin.
you
In
saw it. Oh,
Berlinale, yeah.
you know everything. It's unbelievable.
Just about Berlin only, not Canada.
Yeah, but Peaches lives so many years already in Berlin.
Yes.
And she's a fantastic artist. I follow her music also since 20 years,
Oh
since she started.
wow.
Yeah, and I've been to a lot of concerts, and she was also been in our show Into the Night with. Uh, so I do a lot of contacts there in this show. Yeah, but she's wonderful, and I hope I get my financing because I'm just yesterday, a TV, I don't want to mention the name, but a big TV station said, no, she's not important enough for our program.
What?
Yes, I was a little bit frustrated, I can tell you.
Oh no.
Yeah, now I have to find another TV station because it's part of the financing. Yeah.
Right. So, but this is also like a kind of series of documentary, or are you going to make it
No, it's a documentary
a
also,
documentary directly?
cinema, genau.
Mm-hmm.
I have the same partners like I had with the Toten Hosen as a distribution
Cool.
company and world distribution company, Magnetfilm. So
Cool.
it's the same people around, and I hope that it's gonna be made. But maybe have to look for a co-production partner in Canada, or
Ah.
maybe also Great Britain. I'm not sure, but yeah. And then the other thing, really, really hard work is on Leni Riefenstahl, where you might know her as the
No, I didn't know her.
most. Yeah, she's really you might know her work because she is not a hero. She is anti-hero, I'd say, to make a film about. Um, and a really, I think the most difficult director we have in our history of filmmaking, one of the most
Mm.
difficult, because she was working for the Nazis. She did 3 films for them, or 4 films actually, and she is Leni Riefenstahl had a vision of
Mm.
her, a really great vision, which was copied a lot, but she's also as a character, really, I would say a Breaking Bad character, if you
Oh,
want to say
wow.
it a nice way. Yeah. Yeah, that's a very, very difficult project. Yeah.
So those two are in the pipeline, and
Yeah,
then
right. That's my
probably,
most work on it right now. Yeah.
yeah, and hopefully to be able to realize that by next year.
I hope, well, I'm not sure if I do both next year, but I'm still working on a very great other one, another musician. Maybe you know the band Scooter.
Scooter?
Scooter,
No.
you know HP Baxter? They're really popular also in Great Britain, not only in Germany, but they're in Russia, in Poland. So the whole Eastern European and Scandinavian Europe are fans of them. I do also a portray about them right now. So that's
Mm.
since the lockdown we're filming,
Ah,
and
you're
will
still
be,
able to do that
yeah,
during
we
the
we
lockdown.
could do it
Ah,
because we were always a very small team. We only were three people working on it. Yeah, had
okay.
no
So
masks on, and so we could film all the time.
ah,
Yeah,
so there's a kind of restriction because here we couldn't do it like only limited to 5 people or something like that.
yeah, we were only
For the
three
film.
people,
And
so
then okay.
yeah, it was easy.
All right. Thank you so much, Cordula, for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, this has been such a fun session and talks with
Yeah,
you.
I think so too. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great festival and enjoy everything. And will my movie still be seen? No, that was the only time,
Yes.
you know?
No,
Yeah?
no, it's just started at 2 hours ago, but it will still be able to be
Ah,
watched by
okay,
other people until
right.
the next 5 days, actually. So
Oh,
everyone here, yeah, so everyone here who also participating and also joining us, you can still watch the film until the next 5 days.
super. So I wish you
Yes.
a lot of luck with your festival and great experience to be here.
Thank
Thank
you so much, Cordula. Also, I wish you a lot of luck with this good, great projects. I can't wait to watch, especially with the Peaches one.
you.
And I will let
Okay.
you know if I stop by in Berlin and probably we can meet or have a coffee or something.
Oh, yes, that would be great. So have
Yeah.
fun. Huh? See you
Thank
soon.
you. See you soon,
Bye.
Cordula. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.
Wait, guys,
Bye.
can we
Oh
take a
yes.
photo first?
Oh yes, we have to take photo.
uh,
Pardon?
you take
We
a
need to take
photo.
photo first. I
We should,
forgot.
Ah, yeah.
guys,
Okay.
should stay still for 1 to 2 seconds, and I will count to three. Okay, 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you, Cordula.
Thank you.
Thank
Was a
you,
pleasure.
Cordula. It was a pleasure.
Okay.
Okay,
See you soon. Huh?
ciao.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye
Okay.
bye.
Ciao.
Tschüss.
Tschüss. Tschüss.
So yes, everyone, thank you so much for joining our session with the film talk of Europe Austrian 2020 today. We will have another one actually at 7 p.m. with the director of the film The Dead Queen, Antonio Ferreira. Please make sure that you already register into our website. I think you can find the registration link there. And if you want to ask questions, you can also put later on at the Q&A. And well, I was just like reading with all the chats. The session of all our film talks will be done in English. But if you want to ask your question in Indonesian language, I can help you to translate them. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay sane, and see you later at 7 p.m. Ciao, ciao.